Welcome everybody to tonight's game. We have a big clash tonight. We have Furia, who are currently sitting in 12th place on the ladder, taking on the Condors, who are currently in 9th. So two teams around a similar position on the ladder, really trying to get a victory here tonight, and it's going to be exciting to see what both teams dish up for us tonight. Coming off of last week, these two teams, Condors, came off last week where they had their second loss of the season. They came up against Phoenix Futsal. And it was also a big game for Furia. Furia had a really good effort last week and almost managed to get a victory, but just came up short against a strong Cobras team. They were in the game right until the end and just fell short in the dying stages. So they'll be looking to come out tonight and get their first points of the season. So both teams will be coming out tonight looking for a good start as we line up here tonight. So the Condors, if they can win this game, they'll move for the time being anyway into the top 6 and really start to put pressure on the middle of the table. And if Furia can get their first points of the season, and if they can get a win, they'll put a bit of pressure on the Condors, and for now they'll jump 2 spots into 10th place. Condors have had some quite intense games throughout the season. They've challenged some good teams and just come up short, as well as Furia. Furia's goal difference is also an issue for them. They've had a couple games where they've gone down by big margins, but they've also recently really picked it up over the last few weeks and had a couple really competitive games, and they'll be wanting to continue with that here tonight as we get underway here at Perth Mod Subiaco. The Condors start to move through defence. That's Gomez. They start to move the ball, see if they can build up something nicely here. Cutting it through the middle. Gomez finds his man on the broadcast side. One-on-one defence. Defence is strong there by the Furia. You see Nadasan there, one-on-one in defence. Here's Gomez. Good shot, but well blocked in the end by Furia. The ball will be taken from touch. Condors looking to build. And solid crowd here tonight. A few people come down to watch. Two teams that haven't had the best start to their season and really want to come out firing tonight. So it's an exciting matchup lined up for us. The long ball taken care of. The Condors now start to build again. Here is Gomez, Christian Gomez. Nice ball, defence tight here from Caminiti of Furia. Gomez with it again. That's an awkward ball, well defended by Nadasan, and in the end it's going to go into touch, and it's going to be a Condors ball from the side.
Which one do you want?
The Condors see if they can pull out something here from the training board. That's a nice ball, but well defended there. Caminiti, foul called. Looks like it's going to be called on Caminiti. No, it wasn't. Maybe Nadasan was involved there, but it will be a Condors ball. May have been called on Rowan Steed, in fact, as the Condors now have an opportunity to get one early. Here's a chance. Well defended, Caminiti. They now try and move it down the far flank, but that ball's too strong for Caminiti. And the Condors will look to build now. Start to move, that's a long ball. Intercepted by Steed, the captain Rowan Steed. One-on-one, but well defended by the Condors. That ball doesn't quite get through to Nadasan. Ball bobbles around a little bit. Caminiti's going to end up with it. High ball, tries to find Steed. He does. Chance still, and that's a goal. I believe it is. Rowan Steed, there was a bit of doubt for a second if that did cross the line, but it most certainly did. And Furia get the exact start they were after. A first goal very early. They also did have this start against Rockingham Cambio Cumbre not too long ago and ended up falling down big. But if this does stand, it is the start they were after. There's a bit of discussion, bit of confusion. Just a warning there for a potential handball. And it looks like the Condors now, after that goal, will start with it as expected and will look to bounce back quickly. As they have possession now, Caminiti and Nadasan tightly defending. Here's an opportunity to almost the immediate strike back. And Gomez will reset here. Condors coming off a loss last week to Longobarda. But that game against Longobarda was tight all game until the last few minutes when Longobarda, who in fact are sitting nicely placed in second on the ladder, managed to get a goal right at the end to put the game to bed. So the Condors are coming off a strong performance. But that early goal is not what they were after. As Caminiti will take it from the sideline and he has Nadasan pressured tightly. I see that's almost a handball. It is a handball. And Furia will win that. Here's Nadasan. Nice long ball, but just out of the reach of Steed. Here the Condors see what they can build up here. Here's Gomez, the captain. Nice ball to broadcast end, and they'll move the ball around nicely here, the Condors. They're doing well. There's a ball. They move the ball through the middle. Holding it up patiently. Here's Gomez. Nice little cut inside. Intercepted by Nadasan. Probably could have taken possession there, but the safe option. No issue with that. As Gomez now takes it again for the Condors. Now there's a nice little move inside, but Steed is up to the task. Steed's constantly pushing the Condors attack back here. Done well. And they'll reset. Some good defense played here by the Furia lineup so far. Here's Gomez, chance, and well defended, well blocked. Great save that was. And it will lead to a side ball for the Condors. Here will be a chance. Steed getting in there with the block. Side ball again. Here's a chance again for the Condors and a great right-handed outstretched save. Forcing another. This looks like it'll be a corner for the Condors. That's a good ball into a dangerous spot. Good header, but the keeper up to the task. See what they can build here. Here's a chance. Great ball. And Nadasan almost should have finished that one off, but just couldn't get the accuracy he wanted. Got the connection, but not the accuracy. And Furia just that little bit off. As the Condors breathe a sigh of relief as they start to move the ball up with another chance here. And that just captures a bit of side netting and post. 14 minutes to go. Still just the one goal in this game tonight. That's a long ball. Here's a newly substituted on man that won't find the target in Steed. The Condors also make a substitution. Gomez coming off, and they'll now start to really try to work into this game and get a goal onto the board. The defensive structure of Fury has been good so far, as you'll see there. Here's a chance, a few options. They're still going, and that's a goal! What a finish! What a beautiful finish on the outside of the boot. That Nadasan could have come through on the left, but in the end went with the right and found the bottom right corner with a bit of a left to right bend on it. Beautifully finished, and Furia come out with the dream start here tonight. And the Condors will look to bounce back quickly. And what a finish that was by Nadasan. That ball goes sailing out. So we go through the game so far. It's been a real tight tussle, but Furia have just made the most of their opportunities. And here's another one, and it is another one! And Furia take a 3-0 lead. Not even 7 minutes into this game. And alarm bells will be ringing for Condors. They need to bounce back immediately, or this game could get out of hand. Furia have been looking for a performance like this for quite a while. And if we check the statistics here tonight, the Condors have absolutely dominated the possession and the passing, but it seems like Furia, playing a bit of a counter-attack game, have managed to score on really their three main opportunities. As Steed cuts through 2 defenders and gets past another one almost. But as I was saying, the Condors have really controlled the ball for most of this game. And somehow, some way, Furia have managed to score 3 goals, and we have a corner now for Furia. Have another chance here. And that's a good save, but this will be a corner ball. Now here's a chance. Kamanides involved there. We do apologise if any goals were missed by the camera. Try to run you through it. Nadasan is having some technical difficulties with the camera. We apologise for that, but the 3 goals were based off counter-attack plays. Nadasan was in there with 1, and 2 other goals, all brilliant finishes, which have given the Condors a 3-goal deficit that they need to overcome here. Here's an opportunity. The Condors try to bounce back immediately, but a great diving save. The outstretched save was great there. The Condors still pressing. They've really, as this is another chance, but they've really controlled the majority of this game. But Furia, on 3 fast counter-attacks, have managed somehow to make this scoreboard look a little bit lopsided tonight. It's not the start we would have been expecting. Furia have not registered a single point all season. And the goal difference is also dwindling. But if this continues in this manner, they'll be able to make up a bit of that tonight. As this is a chance, but well defended by the Condors. They'll look to move it now. They cut it back inside. And see what they can build. There's been a lot of this all game, but they just haven't been able to really get the shots off they wanted. And the chances that they have had, the Furia defence and keeper have been up to the task every single time. That's a ball into a dangerous spot, but here's the counter-attack again for Furia. Bit of an extended arm there, not called. There was a knee and Shimaki involved. Here's a good ball, here's Steed, cuts it inboard. On the left, there's a chance, but well blocked. Well blocked by the Condors, as there'll be a corner for Furia, looking to make this a 4-goal lead. Chance, dangerous spot, but well defended. And the Condors now see if they can build something. The Condors fans will not be happy with this start. And that ball isn't going to find the intended target. That ball's turned over by Furia, but in the end they're going to recover. Keeper will take it, and this might just be cleared long. It is. Just a bit of a shout out to the player of the round from round 4 just gone, Muslim Al Muhammad, goalkeeper for the Phoenix Futsal Club, managed 26 saves in what was a great game he had against Coburn Wolves last week. As this is a chance, just sailing over the crossbar. Will we see a player of the week type performance from any of the players in this game? We'll find out. As Furia will take possession. Kamanides. That's a good idea, just couldn't quite get it through. As Gomez is now back on. Christian Gomez. Here's a chance, but ball just trickling away from the intended target there. such a big game for both teams in the context of this season, especially for Furia. They really don't want to continue being pointless on the ladder. And the Condors as well also. They want to be able to keep touch with the top 6. And they want to be able to challenge. They haven't been able to challenge the finals in the last few seasons, and they really will look to win tonight and somehow pull off a comeback here. Plenty of time to go still. They can do that. They can push towards that middle of the table as they now move the ball forward. Caminiti defending. Here's Gomez. Finds his man. Still a chance. And that almost gets through. Apologise again, just technical difficulties, which we are working very hard on getting resolved. Hopefully that will be resolved soon. Sorry if the screen does go black. I'll do my best to run you through it. Here, the Furia team move it. That ball's turned over. Condor steady in defence. Condors again now in defence. We'll see what they can do. It's going to be a Furia keeper's ball. Chance for Furia, a bit of a tussle here. Here's a chance, Condors moving the ball, chance! But just sailing to the top right, almost found that corner there, Gomez, but couldn't quite keep it down. Furia now look to build, ball just stays in, tight defence by the Condors, a bit of physicality, bit of jersey holding, no foul called, it will be called now. It's going to be a Condors ball. That was a knee. Probably looking for the foul, but in the end, the foul was called against himself. Here's Gomez. Gomez will receive. The Condors bring it back in from touch. Condors are currently moving it around.
Screen is completely done.
In the middle. I'll do my best to run you through what's going on. Currently still a 3-0 lead for Furia over the Condors. Here's Caminiti. Finds his target up forward. As the ball bobbles around in the middle, bit of a 50-50 contest, won by Caminiti. Here's a chance, doesn't quite get through. Furia recover. Gomez. Oh, bit of a feint there by the Condors. They're moving the ball through the middle right now. Finds Gomez on the broadcast end. They now move the ball slightly more forward, but Nadasan pushes them back, as does Caminiti, but well defended in the end by a knee. Is it off? It looks like it was not off a knee, and then it was off Gomez. And they will take possession here. Furia. And they'll be very comfortable right now with their 3-goal lead going into this final 8 minutes of this first half here tonight. As Steed will take it from the sideline. That ball's going to go long and it's going to go into touch. We're hoping that the technical difficulties have now been resolved. Fingers crossed, made a few changes and hopefully we can keep this going for the rest of the game. Here's a chance for the Condors. Well saved and dealt with by Furia. Here's Gomez defending. He might just let this go. And he did it well in the end, winning possession for his team. Gomez. Moving the ball from defense. That's a good ball. Steed gets back strongly though on defense. Gomez finds his man. Gomez, awesome idea, but just couldn't quite get it through. And Furia escaped that one. That's a long ball. Can he find his man at the target position? He can. Here's a chance for Kamanidi, almost 4. Almost makes it 4. But up to the task was the Condors keeper on this occasion, as Gomez now builds. Bit of a lull in play now, but the Condors turn it over almost. Gomez does well, almost lost it to Kamanidi. There's the cut inboard. Gomez again. Finds his man on our end of the court. Ball will almost be turned over, it is. And I know I've mentioned it a few times, but it's been two distinct game plans in this. The Condors really controlling possession. Furia have been launching on the counter-attacks, and that's resulted in the 3 goals. And even to this point, looks like the pass count is 119 to 54 in favour of the Condors, but the only statistic that matters is the scoreboard, and that is completely in favour of Furia, 3 goals to 0. That ball finds his man, Kamanidi couldn't quite get the turnaround. Now to Sand, here's inboard, Steed, here's an opportunity, and finds the side net. For a minute from this angle, it looked like it may have been in, but side netting was all it found. Here's Gomez. That's a good ball. But once again, Furia's defence have been up to the task. And I don't think this passing game of the Condors right now is really concerning Furia, because their defence has held up really strongly and hasn't given up too many massive opportunities. But that was one, and Gomez almost had a chance there for a bit of a back post tap in, but just out of his reach. And this is a long ball. Chance for Shimaki. Chance, and it's finished. It's finished for 4. And just like that, it's a 4-goal lead for Furia, having not scored a point all season. They are now up by 4. Remarkable. And if this does continue, I mentioned earlier their goal difference. They'll be making up a whole amount of that in this game alone, if they can continue. But I'm sure right now their pure focus will just be on getting the win. Here's a chance for Gomez, cutting board. Here's a chance to get one back, they can't. Well defended. And here is Shimaki, having just scored a goal. And the foul will be called on him. Gomez will have an opportunity. It was a bit of a surprise for Furia to come out this season positioned where they are, because they have played finals in recent years. So we would expect them to bounce back, and they are doing that tonight, that's for sure. There's Gomez now. Shimaki and Steed in the way. Chance for Gomez. Didn't finish. Looks like there was a movement of the post by the Condors attacker as the kick went off. So even if the kick was finished, it wouldn't have been a goal anyway. It will be a Furia ball. Moving now, that was a knee. Fine Steed, but well defended in the end by the Condors. That ball doesn't quite get through. We'll see another corner through a Rowan Steed. And same result again, well defended by the Condors. We'll see another one. Steed goes long, doesn't get to Nadasan, intercepted. Here's a chance for the Condors on the counter-attack this time, defended well by Shimaki. And shows his experience there, Noah Shimaki. It's going to be Possession for Furia. Can they make it 5 in the first half? The Condors see what they can build here. That's turned over. Here's Steed. Chance for 5. Gets past the keeper and finishes another one. It's 5-0 here. And the Condors need to respond somehow. With a 5-goal deficit is not what we expected here tonight. The Condors are coming off challenging second place Longabata, and now they are down by 5 goals against Furia, who are looking to register the first point of their season. Well defended by Ani. I think he wanted to control that, looked a bit disappointed, but in the end, he did avert danger for Furia. That doesn't quite get through, almost found the back post. Furia survived that attempt. That long ball gets through to Shimaki, but just going to bounce out of his reach. Here's Gomez. Long ball, well defended by Steed. Here's a chance, Shimaki can't get it through to Steed. And here the Condors build again, just behind Gomez a little bit, but ends up finding his teammate, hits the crossbar. The back post tap in probably should have been finished there. It really should have been, and it's exactly what they needed. The Furia go down and get another one. The heads will start dropping. But that goal would have given them a bit of confidence as that little back heel gets to his man almost. Steed does well. 4 and a bit minutes to go, just under 5 minutes remaining so far. In this first half, it's been all Furia. Despite Condors controlling most of the possession. Here's a chance, almost gets through. That ball goes long, and another opportunity. That was a more difficult finish. Probably could have steadied a bit, but it was a more difficult opportunity in an awkward spot for him, but he could have done better. Got an opportunity to bounce back, but here is Ani. Gets past his man, cuts it inside. Chance for Caminiti, almost makes it 6, but not quite. As the Condors slow it down again, they've been playing a lot of this style for most of this game, but for no reward as of yet. Still a long way to go. Gomez, that doesn't get through. But a long way to go, and we've seen comebacks of this nature in futsal. So you do never know, but a lot needs to go right now for the Condors throughout the rest of this game. Here is Gomez. Steady play. Ball moves forward. Chance. Tried almost to find his teammate there at the back. Post, couldn't. This ball will just be out of the reach. It's going to be a Furia ball. It'll be Caminiti to take. Nadasan. Here's Caminiti. Then move it forward. Here's Caminiti again. Big shot. Required a decent save there. Was never really going to trouble the keeper, but in the end, the shot was worth it because it's one Furia a corner. As Caminiti takes. And that ball, bit of a wasteful one, that one. Condors will regain possession here. There's Gomez. What can he build for his side? That ball, bit of a stumble. Good recovery. Turned over and cleared by Furia. Here's a chance, blocked well there. 3 minutes to go in this first half. That ball once again doesn't quite get through. So they'll take for the second or third time now in a similar spot. This time we will see the same result. So we'll see if they do change the strategy up or if they keep just trying to smash it right through. And this one, they do change it. But in the end, it's going to be a Furia ball. That ball by Nadasan doesn't find his intended target, but they will keep possession off the Condors last. Currently on the ladder, Inter Perth Futsal are sitting clear on top, undefeated for the season. They've won every game. As a bit of an update for the ladder positions, with Perth Longabata sitting in second, and this is why this game is such a shock. With Longabata really challenged last week by the Condors. And there's a chance, almost found at the back post, Gomez. Unlucky there, almost a bit behind him. Couldn't quite get the purchase on it that he wanted.
Can you just check the goal for me?
And it'll be taken from the sideline by Gomez. Well, it won't. We'll give it off. He'll get it back. Chance. And another good save. Another good save in goals. The Condors. Another opportunity, and that one cleared. Dangerously cleared. That could have gone anywhere. But they've had so many opportunities, the Condors, and somehow find themselves 5 goals down in this game. That cutting board is turned over. A bit of good body work here until the footwork betrays him. Here's Gomez. Good ball inside. Oh, he's going to bubble around a bit. It's going to end up in the hands of Furia. Long ball. That's a good ball, but not quite controlled well enough. Turned over now. Caminiti loses it as Condors now on the counter. Chance. Accuracy though, not quite there. 2 minutes left in this half. This is another opportunity, not going to get through. As we now look, we've got the possession count is evening up a little bit. Furia now almost up to 60% of possession. But they've almost had double the passes in this game, Condors. They've really controlled possession, just like I've said, not been able to finish off. As Furia now have an opportunity, here's Caminiti. Finds his man in a dangerous position, but well defended by the Condors. It might win themselves a corner here. No, it'll be a goal ball. It'll be a goal throw for Condors. Here's Gomez on the far flank. Good pass inboard. Now they cut to the broadcast end. Gomez on that far flank. Didn't trouble the keeper there. Corner for the Condors. Wouldn't they love a response right now, just before that halftime whistle? That ball gets through. But Nadasan, strong on defense, gets there. Almost a turnover. It was a turnover in the end, but they'll win the ball back for Condors. As that ball gets through, here's a chance, but no shot there from Gomez. And in the end, the counter-attack not worked by Furia very well. And a chance still for the Condors. It almost found their back post. I think it was just going to miss. It just would have missed, but well cleared in the end by Furia. They'll get a corner. And they'll steady it down now. And that's blocked by Nadasan. One of the bigger chances they've had in this game there for the Condors. But as Furia's defense have stood up all game, they did there. That ball must have been moving, and it's going to be a Furia ball. Looks like it might have been a foul instead. A bit of body contact. It's going to lead to a Furia ball. As they move the ball forward. Well defended by Gomez. He had to win that contest or it would have been one-on-one with the keeper. They steady it. It's well done. Here's a chance, and that definitely would have found the bottom right. But a brilliant save. A A brilliant save in the end, preventing that first goal for the Condors. And Furia standing up magnificently in this game. They've had a few occasions this season, Furia, where they've been really strong defensively, namely against the Cobras last week, only conceding 3 goals despite most of the possession being in the favour of the Cobras. And that's not quite going to get through. Well defended by Condors, but Furia will have an opportunity here with 40 seconds remaining. And it'll be taken by Caminiti on that far flank inboard. A bit wasteful there, straight to the keeper. Gomez. Good ball here to Gomez again. Chance, not quite going to get through. Here's the counter, but that ball is going to be out of the reach as it's cleared by the keeper. And very well in the end, because it's going to end up in Gomez's feet. He will retain possession here after that ball came off Caminiti. But the missed touch there on our end, on the broadcast end, is going to lead to possession for Furia through Sashalin Nadasan. There's only 13 seconds to go. Can either team make one last push for a goal? 8 seconds. Here's a knee, loses it, 3 seconds. Maybe one more chance, they've got to shoot it now. This has to be it. And they won't get the shot off. And as we go into the halftime break, we'll be back with you in just a few moments. It's 5-0 to Furia, so we'll be back in a few moments to find out if the Condors can put together a comeback.
Futsal WA has social futsal competitions 5 nights a week, Mount Lawley and West Perth. Whether you're an individual or have a group of mates who want to play, there's a junior, men's, women's or mixed competition that will suit you. Contact us to get involved in futsal, an action-packed sport and the fastest growing sport in Australia.
Tomorrow? Oh, C's.
I was thinking of playing because and I was like, might as well just ask and see. It was like days I can't train because I have to do somewhere. That's up inside.
Welcome back, everybody, to the second half. 5-0 currently the lead, and I know it is late, but due to technical difficulties, I didn't get to run through the lineups in that first half. We would have seen a lot of these players already out there, but the Condors lining up today, which we have seen already for the first half, just had those technical problems. But Lord Egervarth, number 2 in goals, as he has an opportunity. And going down is Noah Shamaki, who will win himself a foul, but we had Christian Gomez 11, Felipe Vera 17, Sebastian Getens number 7. Apologies for any pronunciation errors. We've got Alan Gomez 8, Christian Zuluaga number 10, Enrico Anza 9, Jose Fernandez 13, Juan Marin 5, Matthias Urbina 14, and Marcelo Orellana number 16. Rounding out the Condors lineup as Rowan Steed here has an opportunity to make this 6. And a great save in goals there by Egervarth. He needed to make that. He's always been good in goals. The great save. Probably would have found that top right corner otherwise. As Steed loses it, and it will be taken in the end by Noah Shamaki. Tries to get it inboard to Anigi, but can't quite. He did, but Anigi's touch wasn't there. As we go through the Furia lineup for tonight, we had Yetia Ayung in goals. Number 40, Rowan Steed 17, Noah Shamaki 14, Keith G 31, Fortuna Ni 8, Sam Kamanidi 6, Anas Mahmood 4, Sashlan Nadasan 10, and Preston Gilling number 16. As this is an opportunity, and that may have at least troubled the keeper there, but well blocked in the end by Furia. As the Condors now get a chance, here's Alan Gomez. May get it back, doesn't. And Shamaki on the counter. Here comes Shamaki. Can he beat his defender? He can. Finds inboard, and it's a goal. And that's 6 now. 6 goals, and it was finished off by Rowan Steed. And somehow, the efficiency, despite the lack of possession by Furia, has been remarkable. And somehow they've got a 6-goal lead. It's going to take something Herculean to flip this game around. There's the Condors here through Marin. You found Alan Gomez back to Marin. Marin back to Gomez. That ball bobbles around. Steve's going to end up with it. Kamanidi finds Anigi, does well with his body, does very well in the end. Back to Kamanidi, this is dangerous, and it is dangerous, it's turned over, but he wins it back, Kamanidi. Cuts it inboard, can't get past Marin, and the ball will end up rolling out. It ended up being Anza and Anigi in that contest. And Sebastian Getens will take. Here's Marin, long ball, defended well by Shamaki. The Condors, another opportunity. That gets through, and there's the goal. There's the breakthrough they've been waiting for. Enrico Anza with a bit of a left foot finish, which brings them back within a 5-goal deficit here, but they've been threatening all game, and they finally get that finish they've been after. Finally, the work pays off for a bit of reward. And you never know, if they can get 2 quick goals, may make Furia nervous. This game is not over. So here's Marin, and you can see they're playing with a bit of ascendancy here, a bit of confidence now. It's Anza off the high of just scoring their first goal. May get it back, Anza. He won't. Be a turnaround by Gomez. Marin back to Alan Gomez. Finds his man. Bit of a tussle over there. It's going to be kept in the end by Gatens. Gomez, Gatens, Marin. Defended by Shimaki, who cuts, overcommits, chance still, but well defended by Caminiti. And just like that, the intensity of this game has gone up a notch with that Condors goal. Here's Marin, thought about the shot twice, and the third time he actually pulled the trigger, but wasn't remotely close on that attempt. And it will be taken in goals by Aung, who has been very solid despite all the attack of the Condors to have only conceded 1 goal. Making an early push for Keeper of the Week despite being one of only 2 keepers to play so far. Here is Shimaki. Gomez now on. That ball almost gets through, and in the end it's going to have to be cleared. But it wasn't cleared very well because Steed will end up with it. Here's Caminiti. Gilling. Ball somehow gets through to Shimaki, but the ball just goes into touch. Here's Gomez. Marin. Back to Gomez. Long ball. Just going to be lost control. As they will take possession back in the favour of Steed. That's a long ball to Shimaki. Gomez there as well, defending tightly. Shimaki, beautiful move. And in the end, Egevar, strong save. That ball doesn't quite get through. Steed into Shimaki, blocked by Gomez. Steed still, Shimaki still with the ball, and Marin ends up with it. Patience here from the Condors required. That ball not good. Steed's going to intercept. Finds Shimaki, chance to make it 7, but Egevar with a big clearance, preventing a 7th. Caminiti goes to collect. 1 goal each to start off this second half for the first 3.5 minutes. Caminiti, he's going to get it back from Steed, and a good save that may have found the just inside that right post. So the save was required again by Egevar. That did very well, Lorde Egevar. Here is Steed, finds it inboard. McGilling can't control it. Caminiti, good shot, and Egevar will grab it on the second. And you can see he's playing with some urgency, as are the Condors in the second half. They need a few quick goals. Gomez. Good ball inside, nice little flick, but just lost control of it there at a crucial time, Gomez. And Alan Gomez can't keep it in. There's a very nice idea there by Enrico Anza with that flick out to that far corner. And that's another nice little flick, and he'll find his man, and it'll be finished. What a goal! What a goal that was. It's like Gilling on the finish. An unbelievable flick and idea by Anas Mahmoud. And just like that, it's back to a 6-goal margin. Preston Gilling with that finish. And what a beautiful build-up that was there by Furia. The Condors had a similar opportunity, but just weren't able to control it just a moment before that. Here is Christian Gomez. As they build now, chance, saved by Ung, and in the end cleared by Nadasan. The shot was Matthias Urbina. He got a good shot away, but it's a tall mountain to climb now for the Condors as that ball almost gets through. And Christian Zuluaga newly on, size and frustration. Big chance there. Here's Steed, almost got it to Mahmoud, turned over. That's Anza, finds his man. May end up with Christian Gomez here, presenting an option. It doesn't, and it's going to be cleared by Furia through the boot of Nadasan. Here come the Condors. That was Zuluaga. Out to Gomez. Back to Zuluaga. Now finds, I think he tried to go back there, but in the end, well cleared by Sashal and Nadasan. Zuluaga. Nice idea there. Tried to get it to Felipe Vera, who's now on. But well defended. Condors try to win it back. They can't. Here's Kamanidi. Inboard to Steed. Now Mahmoud. Here's a chance, and Kamanidi finishes. That'll make it 8. And an onslaught by Furia here tonight with 8 goals. Despite really struggling with possession, it's just the counter-attack, and almost every single goal has been in a similar form. And all credit to them. Had 40% of the possession tonight. But 8 goals to 1 is a stark difference. You don't see that often. So now move it. Well defended by Nadasan in the end. Mahmoud. That's turned over in a dangerous spot, and it's Zuluaga, Christian Gomez, Urbina. Had a shot, but well defended. Must say, Sashal Nadasan has been strong in defence. He was last week as well. He's been very good all season. Very strong in defence as that ball gets through in the end. Bit of a mistake there by Ung, and he knows it. He shakes his head as we see that on the replay. Just managed to get through. The shot was a good shot, but in the end, Ung, who's been so good all game, probably made a bit of an error, but I'm sure he won't be too concerned with this margin currently. A 6-goal lead. As this ball will be taken by Fortunini. Ball must have been moving, was it? It was. The Condors will get it back. And he doesn't seem too concerned. Laughter on that far end maybe speaks to the demeanour of Furia. They wouldn't be too concerned with a 6-goal lead right now. Here's Nadasan, Kamanidi. Nadasan back to a knee. Now Nadasan again. Kamanidi. Pressure by Gomez. Forces the turnover. Here's Zuluaga. Moves it forward. Finds Gomez. And almost gets that through in the end. To no avail. It's going to be a Furia ball. You know, Condors are really trying to pick up the pressure in this game. That ball doesn't get through. Shimaki fighting for it, but Gomez shows his experience and wins the ball for his team. He'll take it. It looks like it was a foul. Gomez. That's a good ball. In the end, Zuluaga just managed to get to it. Gomez tried to slip it through there, couldn't quite. Vera gets to it. Good ball outside. Chance, but well defended by Kamanidi, coming flying in there at that last moment. And here will be Gomez taking the corner. There's Zuluaga waiting. And Zuluaga does have the shot, but sailing over that crossbar. Never threatening on that shot. And here's Ung, Kamanidi, long ball. Can he find Shimaki? He can. But Vera does very well. But now he doesn't. Turned over, Kamanidi, too heavy on that touch. Long ball by Egervarth. And that's going to be off Vera. And Nadasan will take. Goes back to Nadasan. Tried to find a knee just out of his reach. the ball by Zuluaga out to Gomez. Gomez now to Vera. Back to Gomez, now Zuluaga again. That ball can get through. And it might be a foul on Caminiti, not called. No foul called. Looked like it was the right call. And Abina's shot goes sailing. Did go down a little bit easily there.
1, 2, 3.
As a yellow is handed out and received by Preston Gilling. Long ball by Ung finds Shimaki. Shimaki might lose it here. He does. Here's a chance for the Condors, a 3-on-2, but wasteful in the end. They had the options there, but couldn't control it. Long ball by Ung again, similar again. Here's Shimaki, defended by Gomez. Slows it down, gets almost around Gomez, but Gomez does brilliantly. Tried the full 360 and couldn't get past Gomez. Here's a chance. Vera tried to find, in the end, he tried to find Urbina, but it was almost like, I think Gomez couldn't quite get out of the way of it. Urbina will take with Felipe Vera waiting. Vera will now take. Turned over. Chance for Caminiti. 1-on-1 with Egervarth. And well saved by Egervarth. And he loves it. Got that left boot out. A big 1-on-1 win against Sam Caminiti. And here's Vera. Good ball, but just behind Gomez, but he manages to control it. Zuluaga. Out to Urbina, back to Zuluaga, cuts it inboard, finds side netting. And they're going to have to try and find a better avenue towards goals. They haven't been getting off too many quality shots tonight, the Condors. Here's a 1-on-1. Steed ends up with it. Steed gets the shot off, but can't keep it on line. There's now Egervarth. They'll slow it down. Urbina out to Gomez, finds Zuluaga and almost finishes that one, but well saved by Ung. Long ball. Urbina tries to get to Gomez. Steed almost got through there, but couldn't quite. Zuluaga out to Felipe Vera. Back to Zuluaga and back to Vera. That's a nice little ball. Zuluaga, and that was almost finished, but just high. 11 minutes to go. 6 goals required to equalise. A goal every minute and a half would do it. Here is Caminiti. Nadasan. Out to Caminiti. As Nadasan can't control that, disappointed with himself. As a substitution is made, we'll see Marcelo Orellana come on, as well as Sebastian Getens for the Condors. That one gets through. Chance for Zuluaga, and Ung gets there. Great positioning in the end by Aung in the end. Here's a chance, but once again, there's Nadasan, strong in defence. And that almost gets through. It's still going, still a chance. But by the time the chance was there, the defender in Gilling managed to be in the perfect position to block that. Another chance, not threatening on that one. Here is Caminiti, turns it over. So that was Steed. Here's Felipe Vera. He received that from Gomez, Alan Gomez. Gomez moves it around a little bit. Ends up finding Vera, who ends up going all the way back. And they'll restart. Here's Orellana. Gets it through to Vera. Vera wins it back, but Steed gets a foot in. Can Vera keep it in? He can. But Steed does well. And they'll take the ball from a very dangerous spot here, the Condors. And this time Caminiti getting in there. Another chance. Here's Vera. Almost setting up for a shot here. Ends up cutting it in board, but Steed does very well. Long ball. And more of a clearance there. As the Condors will retake possession. Substitution for the Condors with Juan Marin coming on. Here's Orellana. That ball, can he get through? It can't. As Ung will take. Here's Ung. As he goes long, can he find his man? Mahmoud, he can't. Egevarth will now take. Gives it off to Gatens. And outside to Orellana. As the Condors call a timeout. 9 minutes remaining, down by 6 goals here. Can they put together a few goals? We'll find out just after this. Welcome back, everyone, to the final 9 minutes of this game. Interesting to see if the Condors can come out with something. As that ball by Shimaki goes high. We have a bit of a stoppage in play. As a shin pad has gone flying. Looks like the shin pad of Mahmoud. Don't go anywhere after this game. We do have another game coming up. The final game of the evening will be between Perth and Longavada, currently sitting in second place, taking on Sterling Braza, who have struggled for points early in the season, but have been very competitive. And I'm expecting a very great game. I think everyone is. So don't go anywhere. The Condors see what they can put together in this play. It's Orellana. It's a Juan Marin. Move the ball out. It's a Bina. Almost turned over. Steed did do well there to get his foot in and force a ball from touch. That's Alan Gomez. Turned over in the end by Orellana. Somehow trickles through though. In the end, well blocked by Mahmoud on the shot by Marin. As that shot goes off, Shimaki ends up with a counter-attack, a chance for a 9th goal, bit of a foul, play on, And in the end, Caminiti, the rolling foul will be called. But a great save in the end by Egervarth. The yellow given. And that yellow will be received by Marcelo Orellana. The Condors take possession here through Orellana. Ball gets through. That's Alan Gomez. Ends up losing it here. That was Gatens, Shimaki. Ball bobbles around a bit. Caminiti ended up with it there, and the shot by Shimaki is not going to find that bottom corner. It's still a 6-goal lead for Furia. As the Condors try to bounce back here. That ball just out of the touch of Marin. Orellana. Orellana ends up with it again. Cuts it inboard. Where's their contact? We'll find out soon. Here's Marin. Save in the end by Ung. Still keeping possession. The Condors, Gatens. Out to Orellana. Inboard chance, still going. I think that was Gomez. Gatens. Feints. Chance. Nice cutting board on Steed, but Steed strong in defence. And a bit of patience here again from the Condors. Unfortunately for them so far, their patience hasn't rewarded them throughout the game as Ung gets to that one. It may have missed anyway. A good save nevertheless. Here's Marin. Newly substituted on Enrico Anza. Here's a chance. Nice cutting board. This could be finished, and it is. And there's the second. There's the second goal of the third goal of the evening for the Condors. And that is, I believe, the second goal for Enrico Anza. And that brings them within 5 goals. And Anza only came on just about 30 seconds prior to that, so immediate impact, and you can sense they, despite the massive deficit, they almost sense a bit of an opportunity here. At least, whether or not they win the game, that's one thing, but at least to get a few goals on the board and make the scoreboard look a bit more respectable. As that ball was moving again, and Shimaki will end up losing the ball and possession and end up with Gatens. Here is this is Gomez. Gomez ends up with it back off the 1-2 from Anza. Anza's got it back again now. Defended well by Furia again on this occasion. That was a knee on the defence. Gomez. Nice little cutting board with a step over. Can he get through? And may be able to. That would have gone high, and it ended up getting a knee right in the wrong spot. And in the end, all is good as he pops up pretty quickly given the circumstance. And the Condors will take. He's come off. He's now on the bench. Substitution made. Chance for the Condors. Doesn't quite get through. Zuluaga out to Gomez. As that ball will be a Condors possession still. Zuluaga. You've got Anza on the broadcast flank. Gets it through, not quite. Shimaki, counter-attack now. Has Nadasan. He cuts it inboards. Now he does use Nadasan, he does. Who cuts a ball, good border, Caminiti, just too high though. It was the right idea, but the ball just out of his reach. As Christian Gomez will take. So here's Vera. Couldn't quite get that through. Gomez defended tightly by Shimaki. Gomez will take possession.
What happened? Venga, venga.
Bit of discussion going on right now as we just have a quick break. Just under 6 minutes remaining here.
Come on, guys.
It looks like the foul is called against the Condors. Looks like Christian Zulawaga may have been the man it was called against, and Kamanidi will take. Just a bit of discussion between Zulawaga and referee. All resolved now. Here's Gomez. In the end, Shimaki's going to win it, but well saved by Egevar. The yellow is handed to Alan Gomez. No complaints there.
Venga, Zulu, yeah.
Chance. Well saved by Egevarth. Egevarth has been strong. Obviously, the scoreboard doesn't look the best, but he has made a number of big saves as that ball almost gets through. But Vera up to the task. Good ball. Gomez, but Nadasan again getting back on defense. Very strongly again. This is exactly the performance that Furia were after to really get a bit of a kickstart to this season. And that almost gets through by Gomez. Good opportunity. But like I said, they needed this. They've been really struggling for these first few games. This is what they were after. Here's a chance, Steed. Steed still, but Egevarth gets there. As Vera leaves it for Gomez. This ball gets through to Zulawaga. Chance here. Can he get through? No, Steed as well. Kamanidi comes in as well. Zulawaga still. Here's a chance. Can it be finished? Almost. Handball, almost called. Not called. As Shimaki gets to it. Shimaki, shot goes high. The ball's long and a chance and a goal. And just like that, it's now a 4-goal margin. As a timeout is called, we'll check that replay. It was finished off beautifully by the Condors, as now it is 4-8. And they'll see after this timeout break if they can get a couple more and really make this game nervous. So that's 8-4, brilliant goal that was by Christian Zulawaga. Here is Kamanidi. Steed, turnover again, and Vera! Probably should have done better there. Almost finished that. As Nadasan will take. As this goes long, here's Shimaki. Turned over. Ball almost gets through, and down goes Vera. Foul called. The foul is called. It'll be taken by either Christian Gomez or Felipe Vera. Here we take by Vera, finds Gomez, can he get it in? Vera, and what a stop on the goal line by Caminiti. That was a certain goal with no keeper. That was a defending of the highest level. And somehow, that 5th goal is prevented. Here is Vera. Can he continue? He can. Chance outside, and that doesn't quite get through. And that great defending in the end, and that's going to go in somehow. It was brilliantly defended initially, but in the end, a brilliant goal, and that should seal it. Preston Gilling with a 9th goal of the game. As that goal, just when it looked like the Condors may have been able to get back into this game, they couldn't quite stop that. It was brilliantly defended initially, but gets through in the end. And what a turning point in that game. If that goal initially had gone in, where the defender, Caminiti, just got there, it would have been 5-8. Now it is 4-9, and that is a big difference with 4 minutes left in this game. And that ball gets through and catches the post. As a bit of a collision. All looks okay.
Vamos, Condor, falta.
A bit of a halting play. As Steed, that ball's lost by Gilling. Here's a chance. Well done by Vera, but can't quite keep it in. That was the ball by Urbina, just out of the reach of Vera. Here's Nadasan, gets it in. And not quite able to be kept in, a bit of an air swing there by Gilling. As the Condors start to move. Vera gives it off to Supa-Liga, gets it back. Here is Urbina, gets it through to Vera, chance. And that would have threatened the keeper, but well blocked by Nadasan. We have a sideline ball, and once again, well defended. Long ball by Ung. Mahmoud can't quite control that to keep it in. And a 9-4 lead for Furia, who are now looking at their first win of the season. As Nadasan finds Mahmoud. Mahmoud tussles over it, and he'll keep possession. Last touch off Felipe Vera. Caminiti to take. Finds Steed. Back to Caminiti. Turned over, but in the end they'll keep possession. Mahmoud gets past his man and doesn't quite get it past Egevarth. He did get it past Egevarth, in fact, but not with the accuracy he was after. It's a long ball. Found Vera, but Vera was disappointed in himself there. Probably should have done better on the touch. He does well, very well there, Vera, though, to get that block in. Here's Steed. Mahmoud. Well defended in the end by Alan Gomez. Caminiti. Out to Steed. Caminiti gets through, but the touch was too heavy, I think. It was just that bit too heavy. As a yellow will be given. The yellow in the end is given by Christian Zuluaga. As the fifth man has now been brought on. With Zuluaga playing that fifth man position. That ball by Vera just sailing a bit too long. As Zuluaga comes off, Egervarth runs back to goals. They'll bring out the fifth man again now. Can they snag one or two back in this last few minutes with this fifth man play, or potentially will they concede a couple? That's always the risk with fifth man. Orellana. Zuluaga. Cuts in board, good ball to Vera. Vera gets a shot off, and he finishes. Finishes beautifully, gets past Ung, and that's a fifth goal in a very high-scoring match. They're back within 4 goals, and whilst it does seem a bit out of reach for the Condors, they're going to keep playing with enthusiasm and try and cut this deficit a little bit more. Nadasan can't get that through. And you never know. It would take one of the most incredible things I've ever seen in futsal. But you never know. They're still playing hard. Here's Orellana. Zuluaga, back to Orellana. They move the ball slowly, patiently. Furia standing up strong in defence. Can that ball get through? It can't, but still in a dangerous position for the Condors. Zuluaga. Back to Orellana. Now they move to that far flank. And that ball will go high and long. Tried to find Vera, but sails over his head. And here is Ung, who will slow things down for Furia, trying to take off a bit of time. They'll be very happy with this result. Condors now on the counter-attack. Foul is called. No rolling foul in the end. It'll be a yellow. It looks like Fortuna Knee will receive. Or maybe Rowan Steed, in fact. Regardless, a yellow has been given. 1 minute 20 to go. Gomez. Out to Orellana. Zuluaga involved now. That's a great ball. Well defended by Caminiti. This ball bobbles around a bit. Is a foul called on a knee? It is. It was Christian Gomez going down, and the foul called on a knee. 1 minute to go. That ball will go into touch. As Nadasan will take from the sideline. That ball goes long. And it'll fall straight to Egervarth now, who will come off with a substitution made for the fifth man, Zuluaga, who has been doing a lot of running in this last 2 minutes. But that ball is going to go long. It was his best attempt, but just overcooked it on the throw. Caminiti just sails over Steed. Gomez. Here's a tussle, maybe another foul on a knee, not called this time. Well defended by Nadasan, the shot by a knee, blocked well. Good ball through. Here's Steed. Still Steed. Finds Caminiti. Can't get that through. Almost to Steed. And now a foul will be called on Steed. Gomez went down. And that may in fact be a 10-meter penalty. That's foul number 6. And there may be another yellow given. Another yellow given by Jonathan Silas. A lot of discussion going on now, but this opportunity will make the score look very respectable if they can bring this back to a 9-6 loss, especially after being 7 goals, I believe, down at one point in this game. Here's the chance. It'll be taken by Enrico Anza, who's already scored 2, this for a hat-trick. And he does finish it. And despite the deficit for the Condors, Enrico Anza, with his 3rd goal of the evening, he's put together a brilliant performance for his team, despite the result. Here's Shamaki. High pressure now from the Condors, as you would expect. This might get through. Shamaki, well defended by Egervarth, well blocked in the end. A certain goal saved. And the Condors will win. They ran out of time there, took too long, Furia. Gomez, Zuluaga comes on as the 5th man. Long ball, can it find Vera? He can. Can they do something? 18 seconds, they have to shoot quickly. Here's a chance and almost gets through, but well defended by Ung. That should do us. Big slide. Foul called. And that's now the 5th foul for the Condors as well.
You just need to signal it to both.
10 seconds remaining. Just a bit of conversation going on at the moment. We're near the conclusion of this game.
Daniel, she needs a towel.
They just clean up the court a bit, using the towel a bit, just cleaning the court up for this final bit of the game, as that slide was called. There's a foul, as we see that on the replay. The discussion from the Condors player were insinuating that the ball was won on that slide. It did appear that way. Long ball cleared in the end by Enrico Anza, who has had himself a game tonight. His steed. It's Caminiti, can't get it through, gets the block in there on the attempted long ball by Orellana. Now the long ball goes through, left by Ung, and that will do us. 4 seconds remaining. It's going to be 6-9. A victory for Furia, their first points of the season, and they've done it in style here at Perth Mod. Thank you for watching tonight. A great win for Furia as they now make a push towards the middle of the ladder. They've been trying to do that for the last few weeks, and good to see them finally get the result they're after. And the Condors will look to bounce back next week. Don't go anywhere. We've got a big game coming up now. Perth Longobarda taking on Sterling Braza just after a short break.
Thank you.